everyone. So this is a presentation of our group project called Take a Break. It's we go on next slide. The project idea, Take a Break, is an application. It's a B2B application designed to enhance mental health for employees, and it's been done through simple and effective 10-minute plus minus audio sessions. The way it works is that when employee, or like when the HR registers the employee in the app, the employee has the option to book the session.
Oh, wait a second. Sorry to interrupt. They say on.
Basically, once the registered user, the employee, books this meditation session or any one of those sessions in the app, he comes to the room, which is clean and soundproof and comfortable for to enjoy the session, and then he chooses from sessions like mindfulness, breathing, meditation, and visualization. Next.
And now let's show you the app. So here is the home page of our app. This is the main page of our app. As you can see here, we have all the sessions for today, Tuesday the 17th. These two are already booked, as you can see, booked by us, and the ones that are full appear opaque and session full. Up here you can check your bookings for this day. As you can see, we have two. Let's check them. As you can see, this is for all the days. And also, and also you can browse through a full week. So you can go 7 days ahead to book future sessions, as you can see, until the next Tuesday. Obviously on the weekend there's no sessions until the next Tuesday. Now let's go to the next tab, medals. This is like an achievement page where you can track how many sessions you have attended. As you can see, mindfulness 4, breathing 6, and meditation 3. How this works right now is when you attend one session of each type, you get a bronze medal. If you attend 10, you get a silver medal, and finally 25, you get a gold medal. So it's just a little reward for the users. Next up, we got the news tab. As you can see, if the HR or the admin want to contact the users, the employees, it will be done through here. And finally, you got the profile page. As you can see, with a little bit of statistics. Here you can see the total sessions you have. Here you gotta have attended 4 mindfulness. The red one is, sorry. And finally, we got inspired by the GitHub Garden, which is basically the last 21 days. And the ones that are brown are the days that you have attended at least one session. So now let's book a session. Let's go back to the home page. Oh, this one's already booked, so let's go tomorrow. Meditation at 8:30. Book session. Here you got all the info you need. Enter the room, and as you can see, we got a little timer, and we are not checked in. So now we're gonna check in. So how this works is you would go to a physical room, but to mimic a physical room, we did a digital twin. So right now it's just this. It's just a QR code which you would have on the room, and you would take your phone and check into your session. So now look up, as you can see, he's checking in from his phone. And there we go, we are checked in. Now, when the countdown ends, the audio will start playing, but we couldn't time it for this presentation, so right now we just have a button to, pretend that the countdown is over. As you can see,
Welcome to belly breathing.
Let's do it.
beautiful session provided by Esther. Thank you. And let's go on with the presentation. Technologies. For the front end, we use Next.js, React, TypeScript, Tailwind, and some components from Chatcien. Backend, Next.js again, TypeScript, Postgres for the database, and Prisma. And organization for the team members, GitHub, Vercel, Mermaid, Notion, Linear, Figma, and Discord. And here you can see the technologies we used. There's one missing here, which is AWS, which is used to store the audios provided by Esther. So we store them there, and then we play them on the Twin.
Thank you. So I will be going through a little bit of the technical details. Promise it will not be too complicated. So essentially, the digital twin is a representation of the physical room. So essentially, we want to have the room play the audio, and also want the room to be able to check if there's an upcoming session, and make sure that when the user scans the QR code, they're able to get their booking checked in, and then be able to move on to the next step and enjoy the content. So this is a rather dumbed down version of the diagram. So so we basically start with a books meditation session, and the user starts with all the steps that we've seen with Manu going through when we book. And whenever we get to the stage where we need to scan the QR code, the twin in itself is always checking against all the other infrastructure if there is existing booking. And when it finds out an existing booking, it will know that for that given booking, which session and at what time and when will it be hosted. And the QR code will be dynamically generated to match that session specifically. And when we know the user's booking has been checked in and confirmed, as you can see inside this dotted box, this is what will be happening. So when the countdown reaches 0, we activate the audio, and the user will be able to enjoy. And as the audio ends, we have a series of checks that also allow for the achievement. So we can make sure that the user has actually shown up to the session and checked in, and be able to have the appropriate statistics that comes along with it. Okay.
So what did we learn? Because at the end of the day, we're here to learn some stuff, which is important things. We started with the Next.js framework. Basically, Next.js is here to help us. It's what we call server-side rendering. Usually, we have backend on one side, front-end on another side. So it's always split, basically. You work either on one, either on the other. Here, it makes a bit everything, so it helps on a development level. It helps on being quicker, basically. You can do actions on a front-end page. You can do action that will usually not be allowed, very simply. Git version control. Git version control is GitHub. It's GitHub role. It's we learn basically we each work on something. We each work on some part of the code. We upload it, but if someone else work on something else, you cannot be working on the same code at all time. So it's all through Git. It all gets uploaded, so we can share our code. It can be maintained all together. We can get to all version. If we break everything, we can just get back. This is why it's called the version control, because we can get back to normal version, get what was working. Code reviews. Code reviews is basically linked to Git versions, because whenever someone is uploading a new code, we as a team had to check it, review it, to see if it was okay, if there is any problem, if it was going to break everything, which takes a lot of time. We started by not doing it a lot. We learned the hard way that we had to do it. So we got better and better, and yeah, it's very useful because and it gets you to know what other people are doing. You're not just in your thing, doing your little thing without having any idea of what the other people are doing in your team. And app deployment, because the demo you saw here is online. So for example, if you want to have access, you could use it right now from your phone, because usually during development it's simply on your computer, so you cannot use it anywhere else. So app deployment through Vercel, which we didn't talk about, I think, in the technologies, but it allows us to host our app and so to use it wherever, as long as you have the link. So it was the technical skills. What are the growth insights? Biggest one, obviously, team collaboration, because we have been here for 3 months now. But when we started this, we've been here for a month and a half, 2 months. We always worked alone. We had to learn our stuff on our side. We had solo projects, so it's you versus you. You do whatever you want. You work whenever you want. You don't owe anything to anyone. So it was a lot of work, obviously. It's to learn, like, sometimes you're wrong and you have to admit it. Sometimes you might be right, but if the team is saying otherwise, you have to do otherwise. So a lot of work has been done on that because you are young, we need to learn. But I think it's going to be really, really useful in the future because it's super important, these spaces. We learned agile methodology, so it's basically daily checkups and weekly checkups with Esther. Thank you again for coming each week. So every morning we're meeting, like quick meeting, like usually 30 minutes max, just saying what did we do, where are we going for each people, are we blocked somewhere, do we need help, is it good, is it bad? Really quick, just to again advance as a team. Like each day we know where everyone is, we know what we're doing and everything. And working with non-technical people, because obviously for every project we had until now, it was usually with instructors and everything, everyone is in the field. But with Esther, you start to learn how to explain things, because some things might appear super simple, but on a tech level it's a nightmare to do. So you have to explain things, in a different way, you have to understand what people want and make it into a technical, feasible thing. So very interesting, overall very interesting, a lot of things learned. And thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Richard. Any questions?
I have a second.
Do you have this mic?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, sorry. Hello, thank you for that. I'm curious, what's next with this project? One obvious thing that shouted out to me was that how does the admin side, ad bookings or HR interact with it? So you obviously you've only got one side of the application. I'm curious to know what other things you want to build with this.
I think Richard.
Oh, sorry.
Richard doesn't hear it, I think.
Can you hear me? I think just I think they can hear me only. It's like magic.
I
have to keep the mic.
I'm really bad at just, as soon as I pick it up, I just put it down again. No, sorry, Richard. I'm not just going to do deep throat, but I'm no, Richard, I was just asking where next with this project. Yeah, keep it short and sweet.
So what's next? The next step? Sadly, and obviously what we didn't manage to finish, for example the HR side, because we had a lot of talk about it, and we decided that in the end the user experience was more important to show With the nature side, it's basically going to be statistic mostly, statistic on each employees. How often do they go? How often who never go? Who goes all the time? It's more statistic, controlling everything. On the purely admin, so take a break team side, it will be adding a new session. I mean, not just new session. A session itself, like time and date, it's on the HR side, but adding a new theme basically. We have meditation. You can add I don't know. Breathing.
Mindfulness.
I mean, you basically you can add a new theme. You can add a new audio and everything as a HR user. No, the admin user, sorry. And yeah, it will be mostly this. On the top of my head, does anyone? No. But yeah, now it's still a lot of work to do.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Now, first of all, thank you all so much. And I think you're a great team, and it's so nice to hear that you all came into this unity. So from individuals, and also with the help of beautiful Lilian, I think. You forget to mention her, Lucas.
And Dave.
And Dave. Sorry, Dave as well. I'm sorry, Dave. But I think this is the most important, you know, that you work in a team and that then you get the results, right? With all these tools that Arol and Oka give to you. I think this is so important for you in the nearby future, you know, that you look at each other, look after each other, and also for yourself, but in this whole team. So I think this was that really touches me. So congratulations on that. And I wanted to know just a technical question, like, so when you book the session, you don't receive a QR code, but you take a picture of the QR code at the door of the room. Okay, so if you haven't booked the session, then there is no QR. It doesn't pop up in your phone, or how does it work?
So technically, the room should have the QR that only is pertaining to that room specifically. But for the sake of the testing, we had to make it dynamic so that every time it would match for the given upcoming session. But in a real life scenario, the room would just have the static QR, and that QR itself will all the upcoming sessions for that room specifically. You'll be able to access.
But if you haven't booked the room, what happens?
Basically, when I use my phone, it opened the booking session, the waiting room, and you don't have access to this if you didn't book it.
So you cannot scan it, let's say?
You can scan it, but it's gonna...
It doesn't work.
It's a dead end, basically.
Okay. And I have another question. I think it's an extension of your question. So what are the next steps? So what would be like, this is not the full app as we didn't have enough time, right? So if we would like to have a full app to really, that works, for example, so also with all the features for HR, etc. So I would like to know what steps would I have to take to and where to go, for example, that I get some recommendations on that, how I can really fully organize this app to work and really to work with it with the company.
Well, right now I will say the most basic, most first thing to do will be to create different users, because we have it in the database, but you cannot play with it on the front end. It will be so to have a HR part and a admin part, to take a break section. To first of all, fully compartmented, fully separates what a user has access to, what HR has access to, and everything. Then on the HR level, so once you have the users, on the fully HR, it will be we have the stats, we have the statistics and everything. So it's mostly this. Maybe basically you need something to add a session, because it's HR only thing, and on admin level, it's probably adding a track, adding a type, because I think you sent multiple meditation, for example, so it will be like adding a track, doing a new thing. But to have a prototype, obviously it's not talking about the final app, but to have a prototype, I don't think we're missing much. But yes, sadly we don't have enough time.
Okay.
So can I ask? Well, I can clarifying the question. Is that for what's left for starting working with a company, or yes? Okay. So yeah. It's like what's left to do from here to work with a company, right? To start installing this into a company.
App,
Yeah. So and also it's not. Just to clarify, also it's not one app that everybody uses. Okay, but it's different apps that each of the users use, right? What you have seen is the prototype of the employee, the consumer, okay? The one that is going to enjoy all these sessions, book these sessions, and then be part of it. Then there's the HR dashboard, which is, for example, changes of design. One is, this is made for mobile first, right? It's not a mobile app, but it's designed for mobile first. And the HR is going to be desktop for obvious reasons, because they're working, right? So there will be for sure like the HR in which they can at least whitelist their employees to be able to have access to the app. Also the app, this app is not, this prototype is not having authentication right now, because that's part of a little bit overlap with the HR. And then installing CMS, content management system, for admin to be able to add the drafts. Okay, but with that you can already like run a pilot with a company. Yeah, I would say this is a prototype just for see how's my app, right? Then when we're talking about a pilot, I would say like you need like this addition to this app and then the other two systems.
Okay, I think Richard had hands up.
Go on, Richard.
I have a question.
Sorry.
Yeah, so, sorry, that's the button the remote people always use when they have a question. I was just out of curiosity, I remember when I was in one of the first team meetings, I'm still wondering, like, was there already an idea of how the user is being able to experience the sessions? Are they going to listen to the audio track individually via the headphones connected to their own phone, or is it something audio in the room that needs to be triggered by the application?
Well, as you saw in the demo, right now it's being played in the twin, so in the room. But then the question of, is the company gonna connect every headphones to a computer in the room, or is it every people connecting to the... I mean, for now it's on the room, but I think it will be more Esther and probably more the company to decide on this. So we don't have a clear answer, basically.
Luca?
He knows.
No, I don't know. As per the prototype, yes, as per the prototype, we could really leave my laptop. Well, no, ideally something less expensive that is running that twin, that digital twin, because we're talking about digital twin as something that you can use in your working station as developers. Okay, but that is a prototype that works. So we could really leave my laptop connected to the audio system like it is right now, and then just show the QR here. So you're booking your sessions in your workplaces, and then it's time. You have to go to the room 3, which is like the Earthshot, the current room. You come here, you scan. The twin knows that you have checked in. It waits until it's the time of the session and it starts playing. So the room is a meditation room only for you.
And then if there is a preference for streaming that through headphones, which will then depend as well on how big is the room. Is it better for the audio to be just in the room because there is one person, or are there multiple people, in which case there would be the headphones needed. Probably the best solution would be the one Esther suggested last time, which would be the Aura headphones, like the ones used here at Norskin for some public events to just be synchronized, and those would probably pick up the audio from as well some. We would have to see how they connect. But probably through Bluetooth or something, and they would pick up from another software with a hardware system.
And also, just as an alternative, I was saying the thing on my laptop, and I was making the joke of something less expensive. Like an idea also could be to replace that by Raspberry Pi, which is a full working system. It's a computer basically. It's kind of $20-some, $30. So by $30 and a sound system, you can already convert a room into a smart room, let's say. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, thank you. I also want to say I like your shirt. Did you wear it especially for today? Or? No, not stressed. Yeah, okay. I really enjoyed the presentation, especially because I'm not really involved, but we had lots of conversations before, and I come from a corporate background, and I've seen a lot of people stressed at work because of work, but also because of things that are happening in private lives. So this whole tendency towards mental health, I like it a lot, and I definitely support it. And when I'm seeing this, I actually also have the feeling this can actually already brought to you can already test it with the prototype that's here. You can easily go to a company and propose it and test it with some employees, for instance. One very pragmatic question I had, because now you go through the process that you sign up through the app. Is there also, because I can also imagine that we are sitting together and you are telling me you were going to this session, and I think, oh, that's actually a good idea, and the session starts in a minute. I work with Esther and I sign in there at the room straight away, or is it at the moment you always go through the app first, the sign-up process, and then in the room? There's not the shortcut that you go straight to the room as well.
You have to go to the app first.
You have to go to
the
Okay. Okay, and then. And then I think it's actually nice to have that conversation. What is needed from a HR perspective for testing? Because maybe there's definitely something to consider already, bringing this to employees, test it with employees, and getting more information from HR. What are the KPIs they actually want to see exactly? Because we have some idea, but I guess we need to get some more information on that as well.
And also the feedback of the employees. Is there thank you. Is there a possibility for the feedback of the employees, or is that in the news sector, or where?
Right now there's
not yet, right?
The users can.
Yeah. Okay. So that's important as well. Okay.
Can I think this is also an example of how the prototype also allows you as the leader or the leaders of a project to also see what is relevant and shape the application as you go. And that's always the case when you develop a startup or a product that is very young. So, and I think that's also the case where you work with developers. That's very critical to. And I think that's also has been the process for you guys, right? When you were on these sprint reviews, deciding what are the most relevant features, what are the less relevant features, and this is always the case. And I think that's also showcases the importance of proper communication between the developers and the non-technical people, and it also usually gives you room to review some concepts and think about it, and then maybe check in with the potential customers and see what are the KPIs important for them and such. So I think this is all. This is an example of something that should be as well prioritized and reviewed, and also what Jos, for example, suggested is also an additional idea that for now hasn't been implemented, I guess, but then it's definitely something that should be in following this process reviewed and sort of put in the priority backlog and then implemented for sure.
No, and the other thing I wanted to say as well. Well, first of all, I really liked how easy it is. So I think that's super nice. I'm also non-technical, very non-technical. So I like apps as easy as possible, and that's definitely the case. I don't know if you talked about as well giving more information about mental health. I thought I don't know if that's something you discussed as well, because I thought that's something you wanted to include that as well. That because you have also different type of sessions you can do. So was also the purpose with the app to give a bit of basic information about mental health? Yeah.
We didn't have time to finish it. Do you guys hear me, Richard? Yeah. Okay. But yes, she had the idea of like implementing when you join the app. So when HR invites you and everything, you will get like, I think it was a text or a video.
A welcome letter?
Yeah, exactly. A welcome letter about
differences.
exactly. Like it's in the pipe. Just didn't get time to get it out.
Yeah, exactly. So what are the real benefits? Because I think a lot of people are not really aware. What are the benefits of these kind of sessions?
So once you try it, then you know. So that's why we thought of an introduction session each week, but we didn't have time to implement it. But it's easy so just an introduction session each week for people who start meditate or breathing or mindfulness, and then in the welcome letter there is a description on what it is about. But you know, in the end it's really about sitting down and just do it, and then you experience the benefits, as you know. Yeah, I'm very grateful sitting here, and it gives me so much confidence. Thank you.
No more questions.